I should be live. And hopefully you guys don't have to hear my dog panting too much. We were just outside playing fetch. And of course she is sitting down next to me. So, at the end of the last stream, I know we had an entire period in between. At the end of last stream I mentioned that I need to make a proper plan. And I went through and I took some notes and I've listed the ones that we've already achieved. I did not, in my negligence, did not list off the areas that we've already caught Pokemon in. However, I think I can, chalk it up as saying that all of this, and then the island over here, or not the island, the desert section over here, is blocked off. I'm pretty certain we have attempted, at the very least, a catch in all of these areas, except for this island spot. I call them islands, but they're just blocked off land masses down in the corner here. So we still have a catch down here to make, I think. That's the only spot in this whole section that still has something. However, I did notice that, and I do see that we have, looks like that Dem or Richard that just popped in. Apologies, I have not pulled up my chat list yet. There we go. Okay, it was Dem. I was looking down there and I thought it was you. Welcome, Dem. Welcome to the stream. When I say wow, I'm already throwing off my words. When I say I drop everything, when I get your notice, I assume that is to imply that when you say you drop everything, when you get my notice, you actually drop everything, including the end of that sentence. Anyways, so as I was saying, I was explaining my plan of attack here. Right now, as far as my party level goes, I have 2 Pokemon that are over-leveled for where we're going. The Sky Titan is the next major location, and the first of the lowest level. It's not to say it's the easiest, but the lowest level for the Team Star is apparently, from what I can tell, the Dark Crew. And they are, for my party level, the higher end of my Pokemon, are kind of dancing within the upper threshold of what I have listed for the levels here. So as long as I can be like under level 23 for my higher up Pokemon when I come here, I think for the most part we'll be solid on where I want to be for the levels. Okay, now that I've thrown that out there, and I can approach this appropriately, Dem, how are things going for you? Was your last week going fairly well? I have set up plans in motion in my life that I didn't originally ever plan to see happening, and things are in a weird place on my end, and I'll get into that in a little bit, but first things first, I want to hear how things are going for you. Alright, let me check the directions here. Okay, so kind of head south and wrap around. Got it. We'll go on foot. I was gonna ride on our can't even remember, is it Miraidon? Yeah, Miraidon. I was gonna ride around on Miraidon, but I think I'm gonna pull back on that. Alright, Mareep up front. Mareep is very low on levels, I think. Yeah, we're gonna throw Skidmark out front until the others can gain some levels, because I think he's fairly tough, all things considered. We got this Ghastly right here. Come at you from behind. Hey Richard, how are things going? By the way, Richard, congratulations on hitting a massive milestone on the subscriber count. Whoops. There we go. It's been a while. I can't remember what the button controls are. Alright, let's swap in with Mudshot. Alright, nothing too bad on that. It has been... Oh, I forgot about that. It has been so long, I have completely forgotten pretty much anything that I should know about Pokemon. I have been, for the past bit, when I've gotten to have any time to play anything, I have been actually playing the new Hogwarts Legacy game. I know for some people that's a controversial thing to say. I do have some opinions on the game and some thoughts on it if anyone is interested in that. Otherwise, I'll leave it there and just say that, oh, I'm so glad I swapped. Because at least Bacon's got something to throw their way. Oh, just got a message here. Oh, that's adorable! Oh my god, damn! That's adorable! Cute little puppy! I can't exactly share that anywhere, and I don't know if you necessarily want me to, but oh my god, that's adorable. Way to immediately throw me a curveball of cuteness right off the gate. My dad has got 2 new puppies, Freddy and Teddy. So yeah, now people know what I'm gushing over. You sent me a couple of pictures of some puppos. Yep, I just got mine. I mean, you know, not nearly as young. She's a little over a year. I think the last stream was when we had the introduction to Rhea. Although she's over there kind of relaxing now. I'm actually planning to make a short to shout out friends if I can get really high in subs with shorts. I'm skeptical I will, but it gives reason to hope that it'll be... Oh, alright, well there you go. Well, you know, it's, I know I'm oftentimes shouting out channels that are much larger than mine, but I legitimately share them because I think some people will have a lot of interest in it. And, you know, when you have really good content on the internet, I don't care what their sub count is, it's never high enough. And that's not just me saying like, oh, as a content creator, they're always aiming for more. I mean, there's kind of a truth to that, but the reality is people who are really talented in what they do never seem to really get the level of attention, at least from my perspective, that it seems that they deserve. So, for example, Peyton Parrish recently put out a new song. I put it right up on Twitter, and I'm going to talk about it in my video. He did a cover of the Phil Collins song Son of Man from the Tarzan movie, which, by the way, already is a cover of a Phil Collins song, so Phil Collins, you're already starting at a high point. And Peyton Parrish, very talented guy, very, very strong. What's the term I'm looking for? It's a strong singing voice, but it's very unique to his style. It's got a very earthy, almost. Oh man, I can't think of the term I want to use. Like old villagey kind of music sounding. He's got a very commanding voice in that field, and so him doing a cover of that song, it was darn good. I retweeted that right before I saw you streaming. Oh, alright, well there you go. So, Dem, your dad has gotten 2 new puppies. Have you gotten to have some playtime with the puppies? I've been real excited finally having a dog that actually will play fetch. All the dogs I've had, for whatever reason, they will chase after a ball, but they'll get to it, they'll look at it, and then look back at you like, okay, I'm here, but like, what the hell am I supposed to do with this thing? Alright, this thing has been draining my power points on my disarming voice, so let's put a little bit of that back in. I was trying to do this fight as a way to get some easy, quick experience. I didn't realize that I was going to be in a single fight with a Ghastly for way longer than I anticipated. But at this point, I'm dedicated. I'm not going to let this Ghastly beat me down. And for context, you're one of those friends I'm planning to shout out since I catch your streams a lot and do enjoy watching them. Well, thank you very much, Richard. I try to at least... God, stop putting me to sleep. Every time. You don't even have Dream Eater to make good use of this. You just stall for time, Ghastly. Stop it. Anyways, I try to put out some enjoyable content. It's one of the number one things I try to come in here with is an attitude that is, you know, we've had some streams where we have had some very sad news. Obviously, the passing of some people within our community. We have also had an unfortunate moment with Dem in recent streams. I won't get into it because the topic can be touchy, but we come in with moments like that because I try to present the reality of things, and not everything is always God. Speaking of, God damn it, Ghastly. And I'm dedicated. I am beating this Ghastly into after death. But I'm not enjoying my time with it. Anyways, but we try to shift it towards a spin of, you know, I guess camaraderie is the word I'd use. Stop it, Ghastly, you're just being annoying. Anyways, going back to the comments, I was very drunk last night, and Wednesday spent way too much in the last few weeks. Oh my god, I can absolutely relate to that. And I'm not even... What's terrible is I'm not even done spending money. I have some models. I've mentioned that I build models from time to time. I had some models coming out that I really, really want to build. I'm a big fan of the old, I think Tommy is the company that used to make them. Don't you do it. Abso-fucking-lutely. Anyways, Tommy used to build the Zoid models, and I really enjoyed building those as a kid. Well, is it Kotobukiya, I think, has the rights to them now, and they're making much more involved models. Anyways, back in the Tommy era, my favorite model that I have ever built, and I mean even to date, my favorite model just from, maybe because of how fun it was to do at the time that I did it, was one of the wolf models for the Zoid series. I believe they called it the Koenig wolf. I think that's like German or something. Thank God, I'm finally done with this Ghastly, and I am never fighting another one just out of how annoyed that fight was. Anyways, let me potion up. Kotobukiya has finally released, I think it's Kotobukiya, I might be wrong on the brand, has finally released the updated Koenig Wolf model, and they are including, No, I'm running from this. No! I didn't want the Skidoo. Skid away from me. Get me out of this area. I don't want to fight any of these things. Fight the Rockruff. I need the experience, but man, these are not enjoyable confrontations we're having here. Anyways, they are releasing it, and they have like an additional back piece for back when I think it was Tommy made the Koenig Wolf. They had a desert model that had more of like a longer range single shot gun looking design, and they are allowing you to have that gun attachment on the new model. You have to buy it separately, of course, because it's the way everything goes. But they are letting you take that. I want to fight another pupper because that's fairly easy fights, all things considered. Stay away from me, horse. Anyways. And they will let you do the winter camo is what they're selling, which is my preferred look of it. I think it's a very sleek and very cool design. But they're letting you have that gun attachment, and I am already immediately like, I need 2 of those. But I have to pay importing shipping fees. So I'm already looking at spending like $300 on the models and the attachment stuff that I want, and maybe some paints. And then I've got to pay the importing fee, which is absolutely not cheap. And now I just saw that GameStop is doing this thing for Dragon Ball Z with the old Broly set. If you remember the old Dragon Ball Z Broly movie, you know that at least in the West, particularly in America, Broly is a massively beloved Dragon Ball Z character, now Dragon Ball Super, sure, whatever. They are releasing the OG Broly gauntlet necklace set, just as like a little accessory thing. I think they're metal, but I'd imagine they're probably like cheap aluminum or probably tin for all I know. I don't care. It looks really good, and I really want it, and Rototototototo is happening on the screen. Anyways, I am already looking at like another $500 to spend, and I'm looking at my wallet like, for the love of God, not only am I having these things that I want to buy just for the general enjoyment of it, I've got more games coming out. I literally just paid for the expansion pass on the Nintendo Switch because they finally brought Game Boy Advance games, and even though it's not included yet, I saw Golden Sun, and my dick got rock hard, and I was like, yo, I need to play that again. So I bought it when the game that I want to play for it isn't even in the thing yet because I'm an idiot and I have more money than sense apparently. Anyways, where was I going with all of that? Yeah, I have an entire project that I have to do with a friend of mine who is anybody in chat, and I'm going to read chat in a second because I saw that some more comments came in. Has anybody ever seen any version of the TV show Hoarders? And while I wait for an answer on that, I'm going to read and catch up. Getting food for one of the friends I live with, so this will be silent for a bit. All good, Richard. And also, yes, big Kakarot noises. I mean, you're not wrong, Dan. Can't make a wife out of a uh-oh. But I mean, the internet as a whole might argue with that, and I don't necessarily approve on both fronts. And I have never seen that show, for the record. Alright. They're putting the first Kirby game I ever played, Kirby Tilt and Tumble. Yes, I saw that. That was a big one, too. I might be wrong. That one might already be there. As far as the Game Boy Advance games go, they didn't have anything that immediately jumped out at me. But I did notice that they have Metroid 2 on the Game Boy. And I saw that they have the old, like, green dot matrix filter option. And I was so excited for that. I can't even explain. But on top of that, they had I Don't Need Charge. They also had the was it Wind Waker? No, not Wind Waker. God, what was it? It was the one where you have to wake up the windfish or whatever. God, I can't remember. Anyways, it's Link's Awakening. That's what it was. They had Link's Awakening on the Game Boy one as well. Those are two I'm really excited to check out. And to get into what I was saying, the Hoarder show is basically kind of it's a show that's built around the mentality of like showing a train wreck of a life, in the sense that it's terrible, everyone watching knows it's terrible, but you can't like draw your eye away from it. That's why I liken it to a train wreck or a car accident. Car accident happens and it's like everybody knows it's bad, everybody knows it sucks. Even if everybody involved gets out and walks it off, you still just like, man, but two people just lost their cars. but when you see it in person, like your head just follows it. Like even when you're driving by and it's already happened and you just see the accident on the side of the road and the cops are already there and they're cleaning up the mess, you drive by and you are still like weirdly glued to it. That's kind of what Hoarders is, as far as like the amount of filth that some people end up living with. Let me check the map here. We are not in a new place because the new place is going to be past this. I'm kind of just artificially determining that it's like a cutoff here because I think it's kind of weird, but I'm going to say all this is just one landmass. This water up here, though, is kind of my arcing point for the split difference. I know it's arbitrary, I know it's weird, but I'm trying to like make the map sections in ways that are not going to give me too many Pokemon to make this easy. Anyways, Hoarders is largely a show about people living in a level of filth that is self-destructive. It's not a good thing. I'm not going to name names and I'm not going to get out there, but I went to a friend's house and finally had it hit me with a big wooden stick upside the head that they are in that position. And I am dedicating several days in this upcoming week. It was going to be this week, but then I went and burned my hands severely. My left hand pretty bad, my right arm. Guys, when you cook with oil, be safe. Anyways, so I had some serious burns I was healing from. And next week, I am dedicating a lot of time to going and trying to help alleviate a toxic living space from a friend of mine. Anyways, we have more references to Kirby Tilt and Tumble here. On the Game Boy Advance SP, Kirby Tilt and Tumble had Kirby move the opposite direction you tilted the game. That's interesting. I'm trying to imagine, like, I always thought the purpose of the Kirby Tilt and Tumble game was to be like Kirby on a board game that you're kind of moving him around. So the idea that he's tilting the opposite direction of what you tilted, I suppose if you mean when you tilt it up, he goes down, because I always thought it was supposed to be like he's going down a plane of existence that you're supposed to be somewhat in a weird way control of. Either way, the concept of it is very interesting, and was not one I ever played, but I do enjoy a lot of games like that. I was also a big fan of the Pokemon pinball games, which I kind of hope we end up getting on this Game Boy stuff. I highly doubt they're going to give us the like old handheld games again. I doubt we're going to get Pokemon Emerald on it. I doubt we're going to see like Gold, Silver, and so on. At least not until after they close down the what is it? The shop on the DS or the 3DS or whatever it is they're closing down this month or last month, this month, or next month. I'm not sure which. I think it's next month. But they might after that, but I highly doubt it. But the pinball games I'm hoping we're going to get, because I think those are different and unique enough and could play off of some of the mechanics like the HD Rumble that Nintendo loves that not a lot of people make productive use of. Anyways, I'm going off on a tangent here. Point is, they've got some fun games that they could bring down the line. They also are releasing Oracle of Ages, and yeah, Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons on it, both of which I do have and are very good games. So I think people will have a lot of enjoyment out of those. By the way, when you buy this expansion pack, you also get all of the N64 games. I'm running out of breath here, so excuse me while I take a deep breath. Oh, I am having a Midwestern moment where I am just talking and not shutting up. Like I understood him getting up instead of down and down instead of up because the screen was on the SP. Oh, I suppose, yeah. If you're looking at it on the SP, which has a fold-out screen that's at a different angle, you could kind of make use of that. Also, awesome, a fellow Oracle Games fan. They are very underrated, but I don't think they're underrated because they are not as appreciated. I think they're underrated genuinely because... Oh, I'm going to have to get on Rhydon here. Because not a lot of people had the opportunity to play them. They are some of the least owned Zelda games from the early eras. Oh, I don't like this. There we go. Do a little workaround. Bob and weave, bob and weave. Okay, this is a bad spot for me to be in, but I wanted to make sure my Pokemon didn't need hard healing. Okay, given what I know that we're going to be coming into, Wooly goes up front. Okay. Realistically, we are actually... Let me double check this. Yeah, I'm under-leveled, but I do have type advantage, so we'll see if that works in my favor, or if I hate everything about what I'm about to do and lose a lot of Pokemon. I'm sure everyone is going to be absolutely heartbroken by that. Alright, let's immediately Terastallize for the bonus and go right into the Thunder Shock. The Capcom Zelda games were all favorites of mine, like Minish Cap. I think Minish Cap is another one we're going to be getting in this set eventually. Okay, it's already on there. Never mind. But again, I actually have the Minish Cap games as well. I have an entire, like, multi-tiered... Please do some good damage. Okay, there we go. I don't want to take too many shots. Definitely going to have to heal after that. Alright, let's pop a super. Yeah, I have an entire Zelda shelving section that actually bleeds off into another shelving unit. God, that hurt. Man, that's bad. Nibbler might be a solid one to fall back into. I only need to close this fight out. That's the thing. I don't need to make a major play. It's just a little bit of damage. Yeah, pluck, whatever. Let's go with an Ember. The wing attack's gonna hurt, but not enough to end our position. We were only that far away. I don't like this situation I'm in, though. I really don't like this situation I'm in. Okay, Arven, I really need you to heal my Pokemon up before this fight. Otherwise, we are in a really bad position. Yeah, we're gonna go all out. I'm already weakened, Arven. I really need you to, like, power through on this one. God, they've got a power up. I'm weakened. At least Arven's using a type advantage here. Trying to drop rocks on folks is dangerous. This is very dangerous, Arven. I walked up here thinking the evolution and the type advantage might give me something to work off of. I very much underestimated where I should be. You know what? We're just going to ride out on the benefit of Arven here. Please take a decent Thunder Shock damage. Fun fact, because of Genshin Impact being so similar to Breath of the Wild, and mostly having female characters, Genshin fans make them... Jesus Christ, Breath of the Wild. Yeah, I approve of that name. I tried to play Genshin Impact. I I wouldn't say I'd like disliked it. I just was not as impressed by it as I necessarily wanted to be. I kind of looked at it and I was like, I've got some other games I could go play too. Smackdown, yes, okay. The power-up didn't matter. I'm gonna call it that from now on. Legit, I think that's the perfect name for the game, though. Like, if it wasn't for the fact that no sane company would necessarily title their game that upon release, that is absolutely what the game has become. Pardon me while I grab a drink. Like, the game even, like, touts that it has male characters that exist in the game. But you look at the community and the fans and everything going on about it, and you find yourself asking, does it really? Does a game technically having certain things that nobody uses, nobody acknowledges, and nobody cares about, does it even matter that they exist at all? For me, Genshin was good, but as you play more, it's just fighting the same bosses for a tiny reward. I'm gonna be honest, I have that feeling of a lot of games recently, and I wonder if games like Genshin Impact are perpetuating that cycle. They're obviously not the first ones to do it, but they are one of the more recent and largest success runs of that. I remember, like, back in the day, and I'm talking, like, way back, go to pixel art days, where the difference between a boss monster and a regular normal monster was simply sprite coloration. Like, if you were fighting a red dragon, all of a sudden it's like, yo, but that's the special dragon, that's the big boss, big bad daddy dragon. But if you found it and it was green, it's like, yeah, it might be a tough fight, but it's not the big bad baddie boy. So, obviously, Genshin Impact isn't the first one to do it, but back when that was done before, that was, like, out of necessity for design purposes. You were working on sprite art, you had a limited crunch time, you weren't necessarily given the freedoms that we have on development tools these days. So, while it still is necessary to an extent, it really seems like it's getting, like, weirdly in-depth. Oh, Dem, what food are you getting? Out of curiosity and the fact that I have already eaten and am already hungry again because I am a terrible human being and need to have better control of my body. I'm still early on in Genshin because it's not as easy playing on a... Ooh, I bet it's not that easy on a cell phone. I did it on PC, and even some mobile games I play on, what is it called, BlueStacks, I play on my PC. I'm still early on in Genshin because it's not as easy playing on a cell phone. Recently got a new outfit for your favorite character in the game. Lisa, I don't remember Lisa. Let me look this up here. I'm going to look up Genshin Impact Lisa, and I guarantee you, like, the third image is going to be hardcore porn. Genshin Impact, Lisa. I know the character, and for the record, it took 6 images for there to be nudity, so I was wrong. I underestimated the capacity of the internet. Although, after that, it is almost entirely fan art, and yeah, we know where that goes. I'm sitting here talking about the internet's propensity to enjoy putting naked anime characters all over a screen when you try to look something up for actual reference. And Arvin is over here freaking out like, yo, big hype energy. I respect it, Arvin. A man of culture. Lisa is the librarian. Yeah, I just looked it up and remembered that. Again, I'm not gonna know character names, but when I look them up, I'll see the character design and immediately be like, oh yeah, I remember what's going on with that. She's a librarian with a cool outfit and a British accent and a big pair of personalities. Alright, I can't remember. Is it the second one that we finally get to... I think it might have been the third one where I first made the connection that our main character is, like, an absolute dick. No, might have been this one. Yeah, we give up our sandwich, and then it goes to go eat Arven's, even though Arven's is all about healing his Pokemon. The little bomb girl was my favorite. No, I'm not... No, I'm not looking up Genshin characters. Dem, you are either a smarter man than I, or, less brave and or foolish. And I am leaning towards foolish. Less foolish. Me being more foolish, clearly. Her being the librarian was one of the things that made her your favorite, as someone who in your 20s became a big fan of reading books. Oddly enough, I was a massive fan of reading books when I was growing up. And although I still love reading, I still love taking in stories. I talk about it quite often. It's one of my favorite things within video games is the evolution, the new way of just simply storytelling. It's why I love RPGs so much. I don't get the time to read the way I wanted to. I mentioned it recently on Twitter that I had bought a second copy of a book that I knew I had that I just had not been able to finish reading. And you know how many pages of that book I've read since I posted that? That was posted like months ago. At least it seems like months ago. I've read maybe 20 pages. I don't even think I finished, like, reached a point where I could be like, that's a fair ending point. No, 20 pages. And that is because I am an old man who has a job and has things that he has to do for himself and other people. And so when I have the opportunity to read, it's as I lay in bed and I read a book and I get 2 pages in and I conk out entirely, wake up with my book ruffled because I rolled over on it. Which, by the way, this actually happened with this new version of the book I bought, which was in better condition than my old version. No, it isn't. And I can only remember like the first page of what I read. Guys, don't get old. Getting old sucks. By the way, I am skipping through the dialogue here because if I don't, I will start to tear up and the game will break my heart again. This is probably, this singular scene, this moment in Scarlet and Violet is like the most emotional Pokemon has made me feel in a long time. And they have literally had world-ending events in the game. And it's like, I don't care about that. But you put a doggo in a position to need help. And it's like, yeah, and you're the one that can make the difference. I am absolutely all there. I'll be honest. I think Arven is quite possibly the real main character of this series. I stand by we're just the asshole rival, but we're the rival that's at least there when we're needed. But on that note, Arven being the main character has also made him one of my most appreciated characters in the Scarlet and Violet verse, at least. And I still think the man has years of emotional trauma to work through. But somehow, at the end of the game, they practically shonen protagonist him out. And it's just like, no, my balls are so massive. Obviously, I mean his Pokeballs. Are so massive that he just powers through emotional pain and trauma that would, like, cripple people for a long while. And he's just like, no, I'm gonna go be me, and I'm gonna do it better than anyone else. Mad respect for that. Alright, let me go through here. You know you're gonna find it now that you bought it. Yeah, you know you're gonna find it now that you bought a new one, right? And then you said that day you got the new one and you found it. That is exactly how it works out every time, Richard. And again, my brother told me, if you buy that book, you're going to find your old one. And I said, I have been looking for this book for almost a year now. Even if that's what happens, I don't care, because I damn well want to make progress in this book. Because I liked the story I was reading. I don't even... Yeah, anyways, I liked the story that I was reading, and I wanted to finish the book. What I didn't suspect is that it would have been within less than 12 hours of the book arriving on my doorstep that suddenly I would find it. That turnaround was like comical levels of valid. Got my results, and some points this work I need... Oh, and some point this week, I need about 36 to 60 to pass. Ooh. Yeah, I'm reading into this. Not sure if you'll have enough. Okay, Dem, I know you're in university classes. However, and this is my advice to you as someone who's gone through this song and dance before. Some professors have ways that you can make up... Okay, I realize where this is going. Dem, off the bat, I'm not telling you to sleep with your professors, okay? Let's get that right out of the gate, okay? That's not where I'm going. Some professors have ways that you can make up a form of extra credit, in a certain sense, if you need points and you don't have enough in terms of what you actually still have that you can accomplish within the class. Usually, in my experience, this has come in the way of doing like community service. Community service was a way for me to get a couple extra points. Writing up documentations on some of the professors' preferred topics was another way. Basically brown nosing your way into a passing grade. So it's not a method that, in my opinion, is well respectable. But when you're looking to pass your class, the respectability doesn't matter as much as actually getting the points. So there's a saying that a couple of my friends used to ride on, and it was, it don't matter what the grade is, because D's get degrees. So, yeah, if you need to figure it out, talk with your professors. Quite often, some of them might be absolute dicks to communicate with, but for the most part, they're gonna be decently able to work through some of it with you. So try it out, see what happens. The worst thing that'll happen is you'll be in a position that you're already expecting, and it just will be what it needs to be. Why the hell won't you just... Really? Is it like not here? What? What did I just walk into? I had to walk up to this bird and hit the A button to fight it. Why? What did I just do, and why didn't this happen in my last game? Okay, anyways. Yeah, but 170 is not a small amount of money. I say as I talk about me spending some multiple hundreds on models. I'm not saying that the amount of money I'm spending is good. I'm just saying that it's bad and I'm doing it anyways. Oh god. Point is, I feel for you, but look into it, see what you can finagle out of the system. Here's the thing, the system is going to take from you and take from you and take from you. Every chance you get, try to take a little back. Wooly, take it out. Don't go down. There we go. This isn't a catch I'm worried about. I was more just wanting the experience. Now we're getting somewhere. Alright, Howl isn't bad. Howl's a big attack boost. Oh, but double team's the game winner. Our physical attack is already pretty high. That lowers defense. I'll take Howl over Leer, though. Anyways. Apparently, most people didn't like Arven much at first, but then they found out what he was trying to do and they all started to love him. Richard, that's exactly the experience I had with my first interaction with... Do you remember my first interaction with Arven? I wanted to throw him off the side of a cliff. The man was an absolute prick, and I was just like, yo, I could easily just walk you over, point to where I found this Pokemon, and put a boot in your back and watch you tumble down a hillside. And now he has immediately become probably one of my top 5 favorite characters in the entirety of Scarlet and Violet. And I need to heal Wooly because that was a hard-fought battle that I didn't expect, because I didn't think I'd have to run up and actually talk to a Pokemon to fight it. That's never happened yet. So, sure, whatever, game. Alright, where I'm at, I need to cycle around. Is that blocked off? I don't think that's blocked off. If it is, we'll come back and we'll go over the bridge, but... The catch doesn't matter until I cross that bridge space or I loop around this corner. So that's the plan so far. Let me see what we have going on over here. We also have a terrestrialized Pokemon down there I could fight. Is it a terrestrialized Pokemon or is it one of those dens that I could do a raid in? Also, I don't want to evolve my Rockruff until the daytime, because of the 2 easiest to achieve forms, I do have a preference towards the daytime one. Nighttime Rockruff looks too much like a werewolf for my taste, which is not a bad design. What just happened? Okay. I'm here now. And I can't flee. Can I try again, please, game? I thought I hit R1, not R2. Trying to do the auto fight. Yeah, okay. Things happened. I may have accidentally hit both, I guess, maybe. But I do have to take the bridge path by the looks of it. I mean, I could jump down, but then I'm, like, in territory I don't trust anymore. Nighttime is clear? Okay. Give me that item. Alright, so now we are in new catch territory. I do see some more comments I want to read, but I want to be aware of my surroundings so that I can actually go find a Pokemon worth trying to catch. Let me see. Yeah, we got a good little stretch here that I can do a little bit of hunting around for. Alright, we got a Rockruff, we got a Ghastly. Oh, is that a... Yeah, we'll take the Misdreavus. Misdreavus isn't bad. Let me take a quick little peek around and stay the hell away from that Ghastly. Why am I... Game, stop it! There we go. I was crouching and I didn't want to be crouching. Let me go through here. Speaking of books, the author of a book series I'm a fan of followed me back on Twitter. Yo, that's kind of cool. And when I followed him yesterday, then I looked around on Twitter and found out he's working on another book. Nice. So I'm hoping, due to moving twice, they might be lenient with my grade. Quite possible, Dem. Again, that is also leverage you can use when you're trying to finagle. If that on its own doesn't get you something, it is still leverage you can use and try and navigate yourself into a better position to earn the credits if they won't just help you out during it. A lot of the when you're negotiating like that, you need to approach it the same way you would with a lot of business practices. And by that I mean every opportunity you can, drive a knife into the ribcage and give it a good twist. Because that's the way business tends to work. And you are, in a sense, technically aiming to do some negotiations here. Any status condition, please let that include confusion. Good. Now they're going to hit us with another confusion. As long as we don't get confused by it, I'll be good. I only need to land one more Thunder Shock before I can start throwing balls and try to make the catch. Okay, we are getting a male Mischievous, which is a bit on the odder side, but I think I have a name I can make work with this. Let's try a Great Ball. I don't remember any of the characters from it, but I remember something about the Rocky Horror Picture Show is what this is making me reminded of. I don't remember any of the character names, but as dumb as a reference it is, I'm gonna go with Rocky as a name because that's what it made me think of. It's not very fitting, but it's where we're going. And as a ghost type, that's actually pretty solid coverage, especially over the normal type from Bacon. But we are going into a into a dark territory, which is not going to be helpful. Let me double check on this, if that's what the next thing is on my list. Yes, so the next area is the Team Star Dark Crew. And I really, really need some experience on this. So Mischievous is going to the PC. Because I don't particularly overly like... Okay, Ghastly. I'm not fighting another Ghastly. I'm not overly thrilled on my party layout going into a dark challenge like that. First things first, I'm going to make my way to that Pokemon Center. I kind of feel like I need that heal. And I don't want to burn through my items knowing that we're going to be going into a harder fight. In fact, I might want to stock up on some. Stay away from that Phanpy, though. I'm also going to need to take stock of my team layout. So we'll take a look at that after we heal up and I make it through the last of the comments that I've missed. Okay, Dem, I asked earlier, what did you end up getting for food? And Lycanroc does sound like the name of something that would be werewolf, though. You're not wrong. I just think aesthetically the morning one is more appealing to me. But again, I have mentioned before, I am a big fan of big doggo energy on my Pokemon party. So that's kind of where that's coming from. Alright. Really, Nibbler's the only one set to be where I need to be for the level layout. A kebab and chicken wings. Like a lamb kebab or branching out from that. Stop it, phones. I need to pull up my notes. All right, let me see here. All right. The upper threshold for what I have here is approximately level 23, which Nibbler's probably going to be at when I go to challenge it. Because of the typing of the gym, I don't have a lot to work off of. So I need everybody to be within that level range for best possible coverage. Let's also take a look at... Okay, I thought I accidentally talked to the nurse. I need to get some tight coverage here. Considering it's dark, the only thing I know that is effective against dark that I know off the top of my head is fighting. And all we have is low kick. That is not good news, but at least one of ours might have something to work with here. Alright, that's not exactly what I wanted to see, but it's where we are. I should probably keep Tail Whip because that might be usable. Toxic Spikes is going to be pretty nice, quite possibly. But we'll get rid of Tackle. As much as I want to keep Tackle for a low power move on trying to catch Pokemon, I don't think it's going to serve me very well. Mud Slap, not overly needed. Air Cutter, I mean, it's not bad, but not going to be something I'm going for. Psychic moves, not needed. Struggle Bug. Lamb Kebab, nice. Man, I really don't have a lot to work off of here. Yep, just gonna have to go with what we've got. I'm gonna take a Fire Fang though. No, I'm not, because apparently I haven't fought enough Pokemon. Okay, got a Swablu here. What do we have up front? Still Phanpy. That's going to be decent enough for fighting them for the experience. Alright, not going to fight the Numel, but I do need to fight some Numel. Got to get experience, got to get resources. That's kind of the name of the game right now. Phanpy, get back here. I really want Wooly to like reach Ampharos status. That's kind of the sort of goal for that. As I get resources, I will get things that I will be capable of selling, which is where I'll get some money to buy the items I really want. If Nibbler hits level 23, though, I'm gonna have to put him in the box for the short term. And I think it's quite possible that's gonna happen. Okay, that was not a fight that should have happened. Either way, let's change Skidmark out front. I mean, can he fight those? No, not that one! You idiot! No! Go fight the things that you have advantage over. Clearly, Skidmark is not a Pokemon of big brain energy. Toxic Spikes is one of those moves I hate being used against me because I tend to forget it was used. I seem to recall I had a move or a situation very similar to that in my Diamond and Pearl Nuzlocke, in which I completely forgot something had happened and it nearly cost me everything. So yeah, can relate. And I think the phrasing "son of a blank" is kind of a disservice to the kind of language that it made me momentarily very prolific in. Please heal me. I wish there was more use from the star bases. I think they should have the Pokemon from the trial in there after you beat the boss. You mean like to fight and try to catch? Like the Pokemon that they used? So if you go to the dark area, they'll have the dark Pokemon within it? Or are you saying in some different avenue? I do think it would be really cool for the big vehicle that they have. I really think that the engine Pokemon that we got, I love it. I love the design. I love the idea of it. I think it just... it's not particularly good in battle, and it does need a little bit of... Yeah, why did you go against the Fanpy? I sent you to go fight the Numel. The Fanpy rolled up and you were like, yo, I got this. You didn't have this. You anti-had that, and you still rocked up like you thought you were going to do something. Now I gotta come here and heal up again, because I am conserving my potions because they are very valuable in a Nuzlocke. Dark base, dark Pokemon. I would agree with that, like, because it certainly seems that if they are using those Pokemon, they need to have, like, a relatively effective way of catching a large number of them. And if they're not at the base, you know, being near the base would make sense, but that's not entirely what happens. All the... Thanks. Thanks! Alright. Nimble, you want to do this? We can double down. Scream something that'll get me canceled, and there's no coming back from it when it happens then. I don't think I've done that. I'm very questioning, because not because of the things I say, but because the thread for where people get mad is a constantly shifting threshold that can come back to bite you in the ass easily. And for the record, this is not just a political side of things. It is a thing that happens on every front. Politics, fan bases, you name it, they can and will try to cancel you for it. I'm waiting for the day that the Pokemon community tries to cancel people because they say they like Pokemon. Like, things are getting that weird that will be a thing that happens at some point. And I'm not looking forward to it. God, am I... Where... Oop, didn't mean that, whatever. Where the hell even am I? I went nowhere! I feel like I went a mile off. I went nowhere. Alright, get me back into this area so that I can place my marker. And let's start navigating our way there and see just what kind of a difference we can make on the progress there. If I can make it like really close to the vicinity. Okay, yeah. Not quite a difference in our favor there. Let's try Rockruff out front, because Rockruff still needs the big experience. Okay, but Rock type should be able to fight a Swablu. Should be able to fight a Swablu if my trainer would actually throw it out, though. Swablu got way too close for comfort. Really? Couldn't fight the Numel? Is Numel part ground type? Is that part of the problem there? No, buddy, not you. Not you, not now, not for a while. All I'm saying, all I'm saying is PewDiePie's still around. Not only is PewDiePie still around, PewDiePie is still massive and influential. The man has all but retired. In fact, I think he's even used the term retired. Obviously, he's still making content, but in a large part, the man has essentially retired, and still, he's pulling some weight. Like, that is absolutely true. Back when I did Let's Plays, I used language that would get me canceled, but I used it more in an appropriate context. Although some people would probably try to cancel me for that. You know, there's a lot to be said about that. I think it was Papa John's actually used the word that got him canceled in what would be considered arguably proper context. Because from what I understand of that situation, he was using it complaining about somebody who had used that exact word in a less appropriate context. And he lost his whole business over that. Like, he used the word, sure. But, like, he was complaining about somebody who used it in a derogatory manner and was complaining about how brash the person was. And he lost his business over that shit. Okay, get out of there, Rockruff. Random screenshot. I saw that, Vaporeon. Look, I don't even think I want to get into it. By the way, speaking of Vaporeon, did you see that, I don't know if this is true or not, but I saw a post that implied that, much like, you know, sometimes pop culture, oh boy, get back here. Sometimes pop culture will be influential in not pop culture events. I don't remember what it was for. I think it was some sort of sporting thing. Or like seasonal thing. Anyways, the theme around it was water. And apparently there was some sort of signature that they got within the Pokemon Company, Game Freak, or Nintendo, or whoever signed off on it, probably all three, in which Vaporeon became an unofficial mascot for whatever that cycle of this thing was. I think it was like some sort of swimming something or other. But I saw that. I wasn't sure if I necessarily believe it per se, but my immediate thought was thinking about the classic phrase that Richard tends to like bringing up. So yeah, that's where all that entire tangent of a story went. Rockruff, why are you going off to fight things that you know damn well you shouldn't be fighting? I send you off to fight one thing, and I try to call you back to the Pokeball, but because sometimes the animation doesn't happen, I don't know if you come or not, and then you go try to fight something that you know damn well is going to kick your ass. God, it's like me growing up. Mom, alright, go have fun. I come back, they broke my arm. Well, why did you go try to fight the teenagers? I'm an idiot. Story of my life. Just take that quote and apply it to everything. I'm an idiot, and that is why. I don't want your lovely prize. I don't trust what your lovely prize could be. Can you fight these guys, though, with minimal threat? Okay, apparently you can't. You just literally can't. Alright. Swablu's no issue. Yeah, Rockruff, you literally just can't fight those things. It's determined to just not happen. Yo, the Tinkerton or whatever their name is, they're Steel Fairy, so I don't think Rockruff's in a good spot on that one. I find it weird that I mostly find copy pastas annoying, and yet that's one of the few that I actually find hilarious. Well, I think that's fairly easy to explain. Comedy is subjective, and when something makes you laugh, you tend to enjoy it. Easy enough. There you go, 10 out of 10. Facts. Do not drive off. I just want the item. God, Pokemon giving like real fear to me right now. I want the item and the game wants to throw me off a cliff. This is a situation that does not work well with each other. Okay, this should be a fight you can win. This should be several fights you can win. Back to back even. Go have fun. Go terrorize an entire family. Because realistically, that's about what you just did. Okay, yeah, you know what? That one, the evolved form might have been a bit much. I was hopeful. That one was on me, and I'm sorry. Can you fight the Swablu? No, I think you're too low on HP. I don't want to throw you out at that. I don't think you can necessarily lose a Pokemon in the overworld battle, but I don't want to test that. Alright, let me take a look at our levels. Let me take stock of what we're working with. Why is it still so dark out? Alright. Nibbler is going into the box for the time being. However, off of that knowledge, we're going to bring some other Pokemon out to get some experience while we need to work on that. Yeah, we are not. I need everybody to be at like level 23 because I don't have strong enough type advantage. Alright, well clearly you're not fighting whatever's going that way, and I don't want you to fight a Mudbray. Everything is ground type. Why is literally everything out here ground type? Okay, but thank you. I was gonna say you need to start heading right a little bit. There we go. We're getting somewhere. I really need some like easier. No, are you really still out there? I think you were. I think you were, and it was just not giving me that animation to call you back again. Fight all of these. The Swablu are just easy, quick experience. And legitimately pretty good experience, all things considered. Really stand to fight a few dozen more, though, if the game would be kind enough to send them my... Woo, boy! That was terrifying. A few more, please? No? Just not gonna... Not at all? None whatsoever? Where am I even heading? Like, I'm looking at the map and it doesn't mean anything to me at this point. Okay, so yeah, we can head north and west all we want and we're solid. We can even head east quite a bit because there's nothing to worry about until we get near the dark camp. Okay! I spawned, saw my Rockruff, panicked and went the other way, and ran into wild Pokemon. Thanks, game! And they're ground type. Just, Bacon, take a few shots while we try to run. This was not the fight I wanted. This was not the fight I thought I was getting. This was the exact fight I thought I was trying to get away from. Boy, I swear I try not to fight things in the games like, no, just punch more things in the face. It's what it's all about. The hell are you doing not punching things in the face? Do I have some experience tablets or something, please? I don't want to use the rare candies, but we got 7 of these. This will be helpful. Let's go with 5? Shoot, guess we'll just burn them all. Zinc is special defense. Don't really need to focus on playing with those numbers yet, per se. I wanted to get the item, please. Thank you. At least Rockruff is getting somewhere on the levels now, although I had to burn through a lot of items to make it happen. Okay, hold up. Stop. No, Brain, do the smart thing, please. I'm asking a whole lot of myself on that one. Get in there. You should be able to deal with a couple of Mankeys. There we go. Maybe? Maybe we can fight the Skidoos? Alright, yeah, we can fight the Skidoos here. Alright, Luke is now level 23. We're going to push the envelope a little bit just because the typing is going to make it easier for me to fight some of the things here. But once I have to swap him out, I will. Let's work our way back south. Some Makuhitas. Again, very, very fightable. Can you please come back to me? Jesus, did you guys hear how much I was mashing that? Luke just wanted to fuck some shit up. Get out of the party, you're over-leveled. Or not over-leveled, but you're at the highest end of where I want to be. God, we are not in a good spot on levels. We are still so very far behind. It's weird that it makes that kind of a jump. If I come look at the information I have, we literally go from like a high point of 19 to 23. And considering I fought the Sky Titan not at the peak optimal performance stance that I probably should have, I fell behind way further than I thought I would. Alright. Jesus Christ, there's like so many... No, I tried to go around you! Do not fuck with me, you little Kappa... Pepper... bitch? That was terrible. Point is, I'm still mad at you. God, and it's grass type too. Just stop it. Just go away. You little hot pepper bud. No. No, no. No. Do not just like throw itty bitty Pokemon in front of me. Where are all the Swablu at? Oh boy, the terrain in the background is freaking out. Alright, I didn't want to do this, but I'm going to have to go fight some trainers for the easy enough experience. I say easy enough, but because I don't know what I'm going into on every given fight, it actually makes it the more dangerous approach. But it's faster experience, and I get some money from it. It's just not the safer approach. Let's put Wooly up front. Let's put Rhea right behind. Let's go fight a couple of trainers. Let's go beat up children. You saw a Pokemon carrying a coin and you didn't feel immediately compelled to pick up that coin and go drop it in a chest? Child, I don't trust what kind of person you even think you are. Pokemon lore tells me that if you see that, you are compelled to do so. What kind of game lore breaking Saitama perfect being do you think you are that you can just avoid game lore? They tell us a thing is a thing. We have to accept it as such. Hell, even when I notice them, I go and pick them up. And I'm not even locked into your realm of existence. Yawn is not a bad move. Yawn is actually pretty good. I hate that it's pretty good because it's used on me all the time and I don't like it. But it's pretty good and I'm probably going to have to lean on it from time to time. Again, like Richard mentioned with Toxic Spikes. Man, I don't have a fire type here. That ain't fun. God, it's potentially dangerous and I'm not going to do it. I was thinking if I throw him in and yawn, since we just got that, it would be kind of a funny setup. Let's go for the sure thing Thunder Wave. If I have to swap out after this, at least we'll come in with that possible advantage. Alright, I don't so much mind that. Give you some good zappy zaps. Let's go beat up children. Let's go beat up children has got to be one of the most looked down upon things, but the most normal things in games. I don't know. We are literally partaking in animal fighting rings. My question to you is, which is worse? Beating up children or making your animals fight for gambling, for your gambling addiction? Because that's kind of what happened, right? You compete with somebody else and the winner takes the other person's money. There we go. Now we've got a powerhouse. Skidmark has become the Skid Blob. I'm not changing his name to that, but look at the blobby boy. This is like such a weirdly simple and doofy design that I love way more than I should. We are not going to get amnesia though. Hold up. I need to verify some dumb brain information. Yes! How the hell does this guy low kick? I don't care, it's even better because of it. Yeah, that's one of those things about Pokemon, is it's actually just like... The best description for Pokemon is Charles Darwin meets cockfighting. And I mean that in terms of the chicken fighting, not the, you know what? The internet does what it does, maybe I do mean that. Maybe I mean that and I just don't want to. It's dangerous to go in the grass. Instead, why not take down a criminal organization? Absolutely. Eevee is an interesting one to open with. Eevee is also potentially dangerous if it knows Dig. That's such an interesting thing about Eevee, though, is even base Eevee is not without its threat level. Obviously, the evolved forms are stronger in what they're strong in, but you know, the acknowledgement that base Eevee packs some heat is solidly decent. By the way, not a child that we just beat up, so at least we're punching above our weight class. Okay, Rockruff, do not dance around incorporeally under my legs, please. Oh boy. Jeez. go with that. 22 is going to be a decent enough threshold to be at, and I'll maybe consider taking the attempt after that. But first things first, everybody's got to get there. Pokemon is just Australia the game. God damn, that's actually really good. That's actually a really good description, and oddly enough, just makes me want to play more Pokemon. As someone who is a big fan of some of the more wild and exotic animals, particularly the small insectoid and slithery creepy crawlies, and you reference it to being just... Okay, I was gonna say, am I trapped in here? Did I really just fall for a trap for a luxury ball? Wouldn't be the first time. But yeah, anyways, the idea of that just makes it even more appealing to me. Yo, how are these things so powerful? I'm fighting them with darn near the same typing, and I'm sure a level advantage, and still these Mudsdales are like, yo, come at me. They are like running this entire like field. Keep hitting Y instead of X by accident. Bacon up front. Let's see how you do here. My hopes are not very high, but hopefully you will exceed. Beautiful. I don't remember who I was talking to recently, but we were talking about since you mentioned Australia, the conversation shifted over to Steve Irwin, which is easily, even to this day, the most notable Australian that like Americans know about. I think the way we got on that conversation was in reference to meme culture, and I made the statement that no meme, in my opinion, at least what came to mind, and even right now thinking about it, is more morbidly true and yet oddly heartwarming than the meme of like men getting a time machine and going back to take out the stingray that killed Steve Irwin, and just being like, no, it's not what he would have wanted. Because, like, legit, Steve Irwin is a childhood hero for my brother and I. Like absolutely, probably the #1 hero for my brother. And, yeah, one of those things that you'd want to go and change, but it's like, how do you prevent it in a way that it doesn't shatter the whole, you know, part of the idea of you going back in time and doing things is like all of the science fiction stories that you read are like, but you can't be found out doing it. So how do you do it where you're not found out and prevent it? Well, quite often the easy answer is eliminate the issue and move on about your day. That which changes is what you wanted to change. But yeah, would have been anti everything the man stood for. Whoops. Sorry, Fanpy. By the way, has anybody else seen the Crocodile Hunter, or the movie? They actually had a Crocodile Hunter movie where I can't remember what it was per se. It was like a satellite or something came down, and a crocodile that was supposed to be relocated ended up eating it, and other government organizations wanted it, and it was a whole thing. It was really funny, and unironically, like one of the couple childhood movies my brother and I probably wore out our VHS copy of and had to get a second copy of just to have it around. By the way, the price of that movie, at least the time that we went to go get our second copy, skyrocketed. I can only imagine what it's at right now because I don't think it's ever had re-releases outside of when it was originally made a thing. Alright, at least we can fight the Numels now. Never seen it? I would legitimately recommend you check it out. It's very campy, it's very corny in what it is, but it's one of those things that for all of its campiness has a weird level of heart to it and is fairly enjoyable because of that. Okay, stay away from the plant creature. And from the Mudsdale, Clodsdale, whatever it's called. Because apparently they will mess shit up. Go fight some Salt. I'm sending my blob to go fight Salt. That's only in Pokemon. I sent my child science fair experiment to go fight just a pile of Salt. You know, that would be a fun way for us to go about, like, handing out awards for things. If you won your childhood science fair, because your experiment was able to beat up your opponent's experiment, that is a difference from how things are normally done that I would absolutely get behind. Blue ribbon goes to whoever's science experiment remains standing after the absolute gauntlet of fuckery. Alright, we do have another trainer I could go fight. I suppose I'll go do that. Were they up? No, they were up this hill over here. And I ran over something again! These little bastards! No! No! Okay, that wasn't so bad. I thought the ground typing was going to be really bad for that. I really expected that to mess me up. I'm a lot more okay with it now. Just throwing projects at each other. For those that are stationary, that's what you're going to have to do. And you're going to have to hope that if yours is fragile and breaks, that at the very least you took out whatever issue that you were dealing with. Just going to say, the kid who's doing some sort of science project on sea bears, that kid's got the broken strat. Like, who the hell's going to kill a sea bear? Freaking, you can launch that bastard into space, and it will come back like, yo, what happened? That's how you hack that system and win every science fair. That said, the kid who's like got weird attachments to like rich foreign uncles, bringing in like importing a monkey and having that be part of their science experiment, that's when stuff gets real fun. That's when you end up with like an actual Pokemon battle. Ooh, or the kid who's like way too into robotics. Just creates a machine for punching things. That'd be fun. The one kid that shows up with a ray gun. So, my science experiment is about high-speed projectiles. Kid pulls out a Glock. Yo, who wants to step up? My science experiment is just Glock. Just gonna say, are you really gonna go up against a gun? God, there was an old comic. I referenced Harry Potter earlier. And there was an old comic I read that was basically like something to the effect of the wizarding world in Harry Potter was way more useful like back in the day, because then it was talking about like dueling in the modern era, and it's like two wizards, you know, throwing spells at each other, and the third kid just pulls out a handgun and shoots both of them. Like, casting spells is all fine and dandy, but you know, you point and click. It's kind of hard to beat that. There's also an old Final Fantasy reference to that. You know, you've got all of these characters that are running around like, I've got a sword the size of a human body. This other person's throwing spells. And then you've got the guy that shows up who's just like, my weapon is my pistol. It's like, is it as impressive as what you guys are doing? No. But it's way better at what it does. Everyone's just rocking leather armor. And it's like, my guy, I don't know what you think your leather's going to do against just even a 9mm. I'm sorry, you're done. And all of these fantasy weapons are never firing like basic handgun ammo. They're firing like damn near anti-tank rounds. That's another thing to reference. Has anybody been checking out the remake recently of, oh boy, that was not what I meant to do, of Trigun? They have re-released an old 90s anime. The show was Trigun, one of my favorite growing up. I highly recommend watching the original. It's got a lot of heart, a lot of character, and a lot of enjoyable characters and thematics at play. Thematics, not semantics. I don't know what the hell that word was. A lot of good themes that it dives into. Really enjoyable characters. Fantastic character design. For the record, the anime does not necessarily one-for-one follow the manga, although it is a weird situation where, if I recall right, the anime and manga are somehow considered both canon per the creator? I don't know, there's a lot that goes into trying to discuss Trigun. But anyways, the remake they made recently, I was watching it and I had a lot of confusion around one major difference, two major differences. First of all, in the original series, it really seems to imply that the fact that Vash has a prosthetic arm that is more than meets the eye at first was something that he seemed to take particular care to hide. In the remake, it's just like so out in the open that his prosthetic is now just a big giant metal arm in comparison. Why they did that, I don't fully realize. Yeah, we're still not there. Rhea really needs to get just a couple more levels. Let's see if we can't find a few more Swablu and knock him out of the sky. So yeah, that change-up confused me, but in addition, another change that caught me off guard was the change of the round of his gun. And the reason that this didn't make a lot of sense to me, please don't stay in here. Thank God. These things are like the absolute freaking God. Stop it! Go the other way! The worst thing I could face in this field. God, in fact, I'm not even going to ride on Miraidon. I don't trust them just throwing absolute shit at me like that. Anyways. Yes? Question mark? Okay, but now come back. But now come back. Yeah, get out of there. Anyways, in the original, his firearm fired I believe it was a 45 long Colt, and it even says it on the side of his gun. And there's a lot of reasoning as to why such a powerful round would have made sense in the lore. From what I remember, the gun that both Vash and his brother have were gotten or made or whatever from his brother, or by his brother, whose primary goal and focus is basically eradicating mankind for a way that I won't get into if you haven't seen the show. You've got Avacadabra? Well, I've got my own Avacadabra right... No. You've got, what is it? Avacadabra? That's what I'm gonna go with. You've got you've got your shit-ass spell. I've got Alakablam. That's where I was going. I am not even gonna try to say that spell again. But yeah, if the goal is, from the creation of the firearm, something that was to be harmful to people, and the whole thing is that Vash doesn't want to do that, it makes it even more challenging from his perspective to make effective and efficient use of his firearm in that sense. He also mentions that he is using a costly round. Larger rounds tend to be more costly. This is actually relevant in a quote that I'm fairly certain exists in both the anime and the manga originally. So yeah, it's a situation that it's like there's plenty of justification for it to have that as a standpoint, and it actually, okay, just get over there. I am gonna use a rare candy soon. I am done fighting wild Pokemon. I'm gonna heal up. I'm gonna buy the items. I'm gonna set our party in position, and I am going to rare candy myself up because I know I have at least one. But anyways, where I was going with that is in the new one, his gun is made to fire, I believe, 22 caliber bullets, which are very small, oftentimes used by people who are more just going out at a range to find a cheap round that is very low powered. People will often call them like plinkers, because you're just going there to have a day at the range, and you don't want to spend a lot of money on more expensive rounds. Buy a couple of these. I'm just gonna buy a full set of 10. Alright, this is the dark area. I can't use revive, that's pointless to have on my hand. They're not going to hit me with burn or freeze. They might have some Pokemon that can yawn, so I'll have some extra... I'll buy 6 of these. I'll have some extra awakenings on hand to deal with that. I also want a couple of paralysis heals. This could be a thing, as well as... We have 3, I'll just buy 2. I'm also going to want some antidotes. I don't think there's a lot of poisoning that they could do, but that's a type of status ailment that I could be facing. Alright. Buy another potion just to round off my number. But yeah, the only justification I've seen people bring up as to why he would be using a 22 caliber in his handgun, which by the way is still massive. The gun itself is still massive, so the idea that it's still a 22 caliber round is kind of funny. But the thing I've seen people say is like, well, yeah, he would have a smaller round because they're going to do less damage to the people he's shooting. And while that's true, and I've seen some people try to say, oh, well, you can still kill people with a 22. It's, yeah, but the whole thing about Vash is that he is supposed to be that, like, absurdly high-level skill cap that it doesn't matter because he's not going to hit vital organs under most normal circumstances. But when you're hitting things that aren't people, oddly enough, you're going to want a lot more stopping power than what a 22 is going to offer. In the first episode of the remake, he shoots a rock, and the rock like bursts and causes it to detonate a bunch of rockets falling out of the sky. You're not gonna blow apart a rock with a 22. Like, it's gonna, if it's a dirt clod, maybe. Certainly not to the extent that they do within the show. Again, one of the reasons it made a lot more sense for Vash to be running around with a higher caliber handgun in the original. Because if he's not using it on people, he really needs to compensate. I almost went in there with a terrible team. With all that said, though, if you have any interest in watching the remake of Trigun, I still am not a big fan of the character design, and the animation is a mixed bag. Some of it's actually really good, and some of it less good. But even with that said, dark type, what am I doing with dark types? I think this is what I'll do for fighting dark types, these three up front, just because of the level. Anyways, actually we're going to start with Wooly up front so that when we fight the big bad thing... No, we'll swap into it for that, maybe. Because I'm going to need to hit it with a status ailment, that's the thing. I'm going to need to cripple it in some way. Anyways, what I was getting at is... I have personal issues with it. I'm mad that they took a character out of the story entirely. I don't like the new design for Vash personally. You know, I have things that I can nitpick about it, but if you're not gonna be coming at it from the mindset of a hardcore fan who's gonna have a stick up his ass, I actually think what they put out so far, I've only seen the first 2 or 3 episodes, is fine and serviceable, and actually is very enjoyable at certain parts of it. So, you know, despite the fact that, as I said, I am a big fan with a stick up my ass about the original anime and the manga, for 2 different fronts. This new thing that they're putting together is totally watchable, and I would, if you're interested in it, would suggest giving it a look. Oh, I should be coming at it from down there. Got it, game. Yo, is this where we found the cyclizers the first time? No. I went to the right of the overworld. This is to the left. Alright. Yep, I guess we're doing this, Cassiopeia. Oh, what was his name? Clyde? Clive! That's right. God, I can't believe I forgot Clive. Second greatest character in all of Scarlet and Violet. Yeah, no, absolutely. Clive and I go way back. We go so far back, we existed as mutual buddies in an alternate reality. And frankly, can there be any deeper bond between people? They say some friendships last a lifetime, some last beyond death, and some cross through the time-space continuum. And that's how you know Clive's a real buddy. Alright, I am legitimately not looking forward to this, because as I recall, the boss fights, per the level of the Pokemon you're fighting, the boss fights in this area have the capacity to get way out of hand really fast. And it is, excuse me, it is possible to get seriously steamrolled against these things. The fighting to get yourself up into the base and so on, that's all one thing. It's the actual getting your ass beat by the literal car. Again, I've referenced the danger and the issue with children having cars as a tool to go against bullies. I would liken it to be on par with people bringing a gun to school. Just saying. Possible unpopular opinion, but running people over equally as dangerous as shooting them. And just like that, YouTube has flagged my entire channel once again! Exactly. Clive, a normal academy student, and possibly my childhood friend. As far as anybody ever needs to know. Got my fingers crossed on this one. I'm expecting this to go really bad, and I'm already thinking, if I have to decide what losses I'm willing to accept, which ones do I throw under the bus? Yeah, maybe I am. Oh, okay, I was gonna say, did I just, like, back out of the challenge? Because that's not what I wanted to do. Yo, alright, that's a decent opening move for our Pokemon choice. Ride that Thunder Shock. And I need to save my Terastallizing power, because I don't think I get that even when I heal in between, because I'm not at a Pokemon Center, and they have made it very clear that you can only get that charge at a Pokemon Center. And I don't want to run all the way back just to get my Terastallizing Orb charged again. Why did such a sassy kid have to be so strong? I will choose to ignore that phrasing. Yep, rock the Hasta la V-Star. She's new to the team, you know. Might have to have a little chat with her about the attitude. My guy, I understand, but if you could do me a favor and go let your boss know that I'm here, I would be very appreciative, and I will begin making my raid on your base. Momentarily. I may or may not have to heal up first, I don't remember. Yes, the guards. Only one of which did any actual fighting. Alright, so Dark-type Pokemon actually have a pretty decent range of alternate types that they could lean on, and I don't remember what they had in the other game, and unfortunately that was the other game, which means that information might or might not even have any bearings to what's going on in this game. There we go, level 22. Do I go for the no. Nope. If I'm gonna do it, Skidmark's the better choice. And Skidmark's close to leveling up as it is. Alright. Here we are with Team Star. I think, if I remember, I can stop off at the, last time I did all of these really fast. I could actually be more picky about which ones I fight. And I can heal up at the vending machines. So I can play these with a lot more tact than I did the first time. And I very well might have to. Yeah, defeat 30 in several minutes isn't too bad. But yeah, I don't want to go that way. Stun key? We'll see. I think these are possible. Yeah. Wooly can fight the stun key. Yeah, that's not too bad. Again, I think we can count these as very fightable. Really? Thank you! I had no idea what the game thought it was doing there. Sableye? Sure. Alright, where do we got some more Pokemon coming in? Bisharp? I mean, possibly. We might lose a little bit of health on that one, yeah. But it's well within the realm of doable. Oh, absolutely. That's an easy win. Alright, what else we got over here? Again, a few more easy ones. I need to keep my eye out for one of the healing spots, though. Yeah, Luke is starting to see a little bit of damage. You're going to have to be picky on that. Okay, that's doable, though. The Ice type should give advantage to Nibbler. Yeah, nope. Not going up against a ground type with an electric. Although, that's more favorable. Alright, seriously, where is one of the places to heal up at? There's one. I'm just going to run all the way over there. Can I? I can't bring out Miraidon. You know what would be really, like, just mean of the game? For them to have all these Pokemon getting thrown out and have your shiny rolls matter in what Pokemon Team Star throws out. Because that would be soul-crushing with how many times you have to roll the dice to get one for a Team Star to throw out the shiny, and you just know that however long you waited to get one, you're going to have to do that even more for the next one now. He's way above our level. Well, thank you. This is a legitimate threat, though. Again, nothing says friendly, favorable competition like running you and your pets over. I'm just saying, the game tells me that this guy's a fan of strategies. How strategic do you need to be to say, you, small child with the squishy body, and your little tiny pets versus my 2-ton death machine? Where's the strategy to that? To be fair, in story you win, but, I mean, kinda really questionable to an attempt to apply logic to anything. But this is why Pokemon games and logic don't have to make sense, much like my rant at the end of Scarlet. Which made a lot of sense, actually, which is very rare for me. Yeah, we'll stick with it. And I think, is Fury Cutter the move that actually gets stronger and stronger? I can't remember. I think it is. So, bouncing off of that, I want to cut it off before it gets too strong. Okay, he's definitely paralyzed now. However, now we are in a bad position. Let's swap into Nibbler, who will have more of a type advantage now. and see if we can't get lucky enough to fire off some actual fire moves. Alright, there we go. Now we're in a better position. Let's see what they swap into. Wait, are they going right into it? I didn't think you jumped right into this. Whoops. Big whoops. Ah. Okay. Wait. We might have something here. The problem is a Starmobile is something that just gets stronger and stronger as it goes. I don't know if Yawn is even viable. But I suspect, I hope, they consider the weight of the entire vehicle. Sure. Come on. Okay, it wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible either. I think we can rack off a few more of those, yeah. We can hit a few more of those before we have to swap into something else. Yo, hold up. Thinking about it. Let's just throw some big attack at it. Okay, that kind of hurt. You can lower our special attack all you want, but we stocked up on super potions. Load up that super soaker. Right. Again, we are not fighting on special attack strategies. We are literally breaking your vehicle with our feet? Question mark? Alright, I don't want it to get too low because I fear the crit strats. But that said, I'm actually more surprised than I thought I would be at how well literally having a blobfish kick a car apart was going to work out. Not the strategy I thought I was going to rely on, but why argue with success? What's even better is this strategy might just tell me that that's the way to go with the next one too, because even with the next one, I think we're going to open up with a little bit of type advantage too. Ground type being useful against fire type Pokemon, I mean. About 1.5 years ago, I looked almost exactly the same as I do now. Still rocking out to whatever random tune I was listening to. But then I had friends, and we all sat together and bitched about our high school problems. God, it's actually even more relatable than I meant it to be. 1.5 years ago, I just sat with my friends and complained about other people. Alright, come on. Get me past the cutscene. I'm not so much worried about cutscene as I am worried about what my next target is, because the Lavencia Gym is the next major target point, and I'm really only needing to gain 1 level on my Pokemon to make that jump make sense. Oddly enough, the jump from the Lavencia Gym to the to the Team Star Fire Crew, which is the next threshold, is a massive jump. So I think what I'm going to try and do is make it to the Levencia gym, which should be a fight that is something I can take on today. One level per a couple of Pokemon isn't bad to consider, but having to make several levels across my entire team for the next Star Raid is going to be a problem. So I will probably do some grinding in between sessions for that. By the way, one of the things I'm looking forward to doing is, now that I've got a whole list of games that I really want to play that I know somewhat well enough to go through, thanks to my signing up for the newer version of the Switch Pro membership. I'm actually thinking of doing a few more streams. Sure did. Yeah, I'm enjoying the Academy for the most part. Anyways, what I was saying is, I really want to do a couple more streams of some other smaller games, kind of just, if you guys want to come in and chat with me here and there in between, during the week. They're not going to be like major goal-oriented ones like the Scarlet Nuzlocke. They're more just going to be play a game that I enjoy to make it through something, Use it as a justification to sit back and chat with people a little bit. Alright, thinking about it, the next gym is the Electric Gym. I'm actually not terribly placed. The level-wise, I'll be at a slight disadvantage. However, I will have the number of Pokemon accessible to me as an advantage. I have a fairly decent threshold for type coverage to deal with that issue. So I think I'm going to try and make a mad dash over there. I think I've got one catch along the way to make. But beyond that, I do need to get some TMs as well for the fight. But I think I can just make the effort to rush over there. Hello, Penny. Yep, you are the one with the really cool Eevee backpack that is, I am still unnecessarily jealous about and surprised that the Pokemon Company has not made an actual backpack you can buy of yet. Because they've made bags before. They've made plushies of the characters before. They have made giant, oversized plushies that are absolutely things that I really, really wanted, but couldn't justify buying because the Arcanine was so expensive, but god damn, it looked good! Anyways, as I was saying, they need to make that bag and make it at least somewhat reasonably priced because, damn it, I want one. I want one to an unjustifiable level of want. Get me to the Pokemon Center. Oh boy, the world just freaked out. Get me to the Pokemon Center, let me heal up, let me get out of this rainstorm. God, this is too much like the weather around here recently. Just gotta be freezing rain that just jumps right to ice the second it hits the ground. Then you're on point. Alright, heading into the Electric Gym. Luke is not going to be much use. That said, my salty tears, which, God, that's a terrible sentence to say, but is what it is going to be a much better trade-off. So we'll make that change. fact, I'm going to put you right up front for now, see what happens when we get there. I think having my, as weird as it is, my weaker Pokemon are going to be the better ones to start off with. Wooly is almost going to be useless, however, I could swap in to take a few hits. The weather has been pretty good here recently. Yo, damn, I'm jealous. We have been having weather that, from my understanding, is like the joking reference that people make about like Britain. That British weather is always just cold, nasty, rainy. So I'm jealous that you're having good weather, because that's all that we've been having recently. And it has been a nightmare to try and drive in. That said, oddly enough, Rhea being a German Shepherd, she has been enjoying the cooler weather, getting to go out, have a lot of fun. And, you know, for all the complaining I could have, is it really the end of the world that, oh no, bad weather, I guess I get to go play with my dog? I'm really having, like, peak levels of privileged complaining here. Me complaining about the weather, and my only thing that I can take away from this is I get to go have fun with my dog. God, truly a nightmare scenario for anyone. Quite surprising for February. Yeah, February tends to be a lot of the cooler seasons for us. If I remember right, it's not until, let me check this up. Let me look this up. Let me make sure that what I'm about to say isn't the dumbest thing I'm going to say all day. Which is a hard thing to consider because, my God, I say some dumb stuff. Yeah, we aren't even in the realm of me doing my garden work until about March, and even then, it's all just prep work. We quite often can even have snowfall into March. I think we've had snow on a couple of Easters even. But yeah, May is when I have everything set for me to really start my garden work. Of which we can still have a couple of frosts at that point, but you know, you plan for it and you deal with the frost and you can mitigate your losses during that. If you plant any later than May, like the start of May, you start running into issues with what can and cannot be grown as you cycle out your plants. But my point is, as I was getting into it, we can have some pretty terrible weather pretty late into the season. All right, let me double check because this is new catch territory. God, I want the mushroom boy. Yeah, okay, so I think yeah, all of this is one section. I think that's a fair claim. And then all of this, both little islandy jut-off points are going to be part of their own thing. So I've got 2 catches here that I can make leading into the electric gym. And I really want it to be the mushroom boy. Screw that! Tauros, get over here! Wait. Yeah, that's a terrible Pokemon to lead into the Tauros fight with. I want the mushroom boy, but I would be an idiot not to grab a Tauros. Get over here. I love the new Tauros design so much. Intimidate's a good type to have. I think they were pure fighting, which being a singular type is pretty workable. And as long as it's not something that's getting a reduced attack in the stat ring, gonna be a pretty good addition to the team. We had snow on Easter once here in Tamaqua. I hope I said that right. And more surprisingly, we once had hail in the summer. hail is... I understand why you'd be surprised by it, but when you know how hail is formed and why, it's less surprising. If the air is cold enough, high enough, and the temperature high up can do a lot of crazy things at any time of the year. If the temperature is cold enough, high enough, hail can form, and all it has to do as it falls is the weather has to be just cool enough that it doesn't completely melt as it plummets from the sky. So as it gets heavy enough to fall, if the air is cool enough to continue to freeze before it finally reaches a point of being warm enough to start to melt, you can end up with summer temperatures well and above 70, even 80 degrees, where hail could theoretically still fall. It's not very common, but when you understand that that's how hail forms and comes down, it doesn't matter what the temperature is in the more surface level airflow. So, weird that it happens on Easter, sure. Weird that it, or not on Easter, weird that it happens in the summer, sure. But less weird than you might initially think just because frozen water. For us, it'll rain all year round. Yo, I'm jealous, man. Snow is absolutely amazing. Like on Christmas. Like if it could just drop all of the season's snow in one fell swoop, I'm down for it. Just hit me with 5 feet of snow. Actually, we probably get more than 5 feet some years across the entire threshold, but hit me with 5 feet of snow. Like make me dig my way to my grandfather's house for Christmas next year. I'm cool with that. But just let it be gone like 2 or 3 days afterwards. Hit me with it all at once. I'm absolutely down for it, and I'd rather have rain any other day of the year. To be fair, I do enjoy the seasonal change, and if you do have to go to the countryside in the middle of winter with some snowfall, which by the way I did have to do when I picked up Rhea. I had to go to a countryside area. She was right near a lot of farmland, was where the owner had lived, and my god, driving through some of the countryside with just a blanket of snow hanging from the trees, it is a picture beautiful bit of scenery to go through. So, as much as I complain about snow, I will admit it can be enjoyable. We had it once early December. Oh, but as for snow, we had it once early December and probably won't have it till around that time this year. And yeah, if I had to pick between early December and late December, again, I'd like to have it on Christmas, so I would prefer late December, but, you know, if only we could control the weather, we'd probably run this planet into the ground even faster than we already are. Get the ark ready! Also, when you're talking about rain, the ever so slight misting of rainfall is in like the middle of summer when it's like 90 degrees, but you have that cool light mist that just kind of hangs in the air. It's not like a nasty humid because it's that cool right off of the lake comforting mist that just kind of falls from the sky gently. That is the perfect weather to go out and just experience a nice rainfall. Like, you don't even take an umbrella out for that. You just let the cool water wash over your being as you walk around outside. Like, I will go outside and just sit on my porch and enjoy that weather when we get it. It is rare, but it is a thing of world experience beauty. Also, we got our black Tauros. I gotta see if I can toss him into a luxury ball. Like, it just works. Please, man. No! Damn it! God, that was gonna be... that was the setup! I only had one of those, Tauros! You bastard! Alright, we are at the point where I'm going to start naming some of the Pokemon I catch off of the viewers. Dem, you are going to be our fist-throwing Tauros. God, what? Richard? Richard, I'm going to call it right now. I realize what I just signed this up for. There is a very real chance that I can go and find a Magikarp on the next island, watch it be a Magikarp I find and catch. I could also get my electric bird I really like, just throwing that out there. There is the chance that I could make you the electric bird, but watch it be the Magikarp again. Oh god, that would be... I'm gonna do that now just because. Richard, I'm sorry, but you know Gyarados pulls his weight every goddamn time. But it's just getting to be a joke at this point. God, Tauros is actually a really good one to have coming into this. I think we're going to swap it out for Bacon. Hey Ash, welcome to the stream. How have things been for you? Oh, get me out of here. Get me over to the item and let me... Oh boy. Pokemon Center to heal up, and then we will go to the next area for the next catch. I only need to gain some experience primarily just for Tauros. Dem needs to get those gains up. Speaking of, all good on your end? Great to hear. By the way, Ash, I see you are still putting out some of those short videos, the good message ones with some of the God, what's that band? The music. We've talked about it before. I can't think of it right now. I am still trying to catch those when I see them go up. You know, as seeing a good positive message here and there. Good for the soul. Alright. Please have high attack. God, that'd be so good. High attack or high speed? It's not low attack, so I'll take it. Low attack would be the worst possible outcome here. The low special defense kinda sucks, but as long as we throw you into like some good fights here, that's a fitting setup. Currently doing a Nuzlocke in Omega Ruby, and you picked Mudkip named Wazo. I kind of like that name, Wazo. By the way, I'm fairly certain you were subscribed when I did my, I'm thinking of Diamond and Pearl, not Ruby and Sapphire. By the way, Omega Ruby, really, really fun remake. I know a lot of people have mixed feelings about it, and I kind of understand a lot of the opinions towards it. I rather enjoyed it myself personally, but for me, it really shined well in the post-game. It had some really fun post-game content. Alright, Richard, here's what we're doing. I'm crossing that bridge and heading immediately... I don't even have to cross the bridge, do I? No, I do have to cross the bridge. I am crossing that bridge, heading straight south, and if there is a Magikarp in this area that has spawned in immediately, I'm taking an eye on what immediately is there. If it is a Magikarp, get ready, man. I'm riding on that at this point. And it's not even an insult, because Magikarp on his own, kind of rough, but Gyarados has proven to be the biggest of big dick energy in every Nuzlocke I've done. And at this point, it would just be like off-brand for me not to go with that. Oh, damn it. Damn it, I could have had a Cyclizar, though. Yeah, Clive, you good? Yeah, total normal academy student. We've talked about this. Clive, I just need answers! With his leather jacket pitting the child up against the mountainside in the distance. I need answers! With his old greaser hair slick. Thanks for calling the bull after me. Dem, I hope that that is in honest and I didn't somehow do something that offended you. Look, I'm just saying, I saw Big Swole Energy Bull and I was like, yo, that's gonna be Dem. I really want to do a Nuzlocke of Legend Arceus. Well, Ash, we did that on our channel. You were there for a lot of that. Was really, really enjoyable. And might possibly give you a general threshold for some rules to follow if you don't want to kind of play with it and make them up yourself, because the Nuzlocke threshold for that game is kind of confusing. But it was very enjoyable to do. The early game can be brutal, though, so be careful on that. How do I do a Nuzlocke in Legends Arceus? Again, we had done an entire Legends Arceus Nuzlocke, and I think on my channel, let me double check this right now. If you go to my playlists, I have the Legends Arceus streams as a playlist. We have my entire run-through of the game as the first run of it. And the back half of all of that is us doing a Nuzlocke on the channel. If you want to see how we interpreted the rules, you can watch those again and kind of... The Legends Arceus Nuzlocke threshold to have a Nuzlocke is not rules that are set in stone. They are a little malleable. They are a little pliable. They have to bend and give a little bit because of how the Legends Arceus game formulates itself. The only thing I can tell you for certain is be on guard in the mid-game, and remember that when they throw the random fights at you that aren't immediately apparent when and where they're going to happen, they can catch you by surprise, and they can be challenging. So be careful on those. Dem, my last name is Bullock. A bull without balls. So I don't mind being a bull. Hold on, I didn't check what gender it is. Did I give you a female bull? Because that would be even funnier knowing that now. Oh, let me check this out. Hold up. Wrong button. Please. Did I? No, you are a male bull, so at least you are rocking the very big dick energy I thought you were. But that would have been funny. I'm sorry. Knowing that namesake. By the way, I actually knew somebody else with the last name Bullock before. I won't say their first name because it's not the name they went by. But if you ever watch some of my older videos, I have an outro song that I use. And that came from a fan who at the time went by the name... Was it Wolf? Something? It was something Wolf. I actually did reference their channel name for a long time. They did discontinue it. I'm pretty sure they removed everything about it. But they made some music for a while and sent me that little bit that I used as my end theme. And my God, I actually cried when I found out somebody made a song for my channel for me. every so often they still stop in and chat, but it's pretty rare at this point. I think they're very busy trying to do their life stuff. So, but yeah, fun little bit about that. I am surprised to know a second person with that name though, because that is not a very common name. Ash, I think I know what starter I'm picking. I might pick Rowlet. Grass fighting. The Rowlet one, if I recall, is actually pretty solid in the game for a starter. I still have a lot of fun memories with High Flosion, but you know, that is just me making statements off of my remembrance of the game the first time. Okay, I'm trying to remember where I was heading. I think I've got to head this way and wrap around. I literally... Oh, God. Well, that worked out better than it should have. What just happened, game? Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to ride this river down because that is what I've now been told I'm going to do. Because I don't have to catch any of these because this is quite literally my dividing line. And I am playing off of that, that gray area heavily. I am literally on a mission to try and find that Magikarp strat now. Like, that's in my head what's happening. Now, if I don't see a Magikarp, like, immediately when I get down to the beach range and I make one sweep of it, the Magikarp can't happen, and I'm going to have to pick off of what I saw making that sweep. But I'm going to make that effort. Because, yeah, the electric bird is one that I'm fond of as well. Man, I don't get a lot of... Magikarp! Yes! Get over here! And it's a male! Look, Richard, I'm sorry. It was meant to be. This is... At this point, this is destiny telling me it needs to happen. And the first ball. Like, I mean, Richard, I'm sorry, man. Fate has spoken. You are destined to be a Gyarados. I don't know. I don't know how you feel about this, Richard, but as far as I'm concerned, man, Gyarados is your spirit animal. God, I want to add it to my party. It shouldn't be long before it evolves. But it really doesn't have a place right now. Ash, I see your message coming through. I had already referenced that I was going to name Gyarados, Magikarp after Richard earlier on. But I will definitely give you the namesake of the next Pokemon, which, by the way, I think is either going to be up in this region, or if we come over here, like out in the desert. So we're going to have some fun things to build off of for that. We're going to have a couple of good Pokemon to seek out. But, yeah, I will definitely go with that for the next namesake. Also, yes, Richard, Magikarp Jump is a legit fun game. Alright, I gotta get out of here, though, because there are also wild Gyaradoses here, and them guys don't mess around. They absolutely will make me very sad very quickly. Alright, let me check this, though, because I kind of have to know. With the attack boost! Richard is going to come through and just be the absolute swollest of Gyaradoses. I don't know what starter I should choose. I have a name for all three. Alright, Ash, here's what I'm going to throw at you. There are ways to do this when you have this conundrum and you don't know which one you want to start with. If you have access to check out your player ID, check out the last number or the first number, whichever one you want to go off of. If it is a 1, 2, or 3, you go with one of them. Let's say the grass starter. If it is a 4, 5, or 6, you'll go with the water. If it's a 7, 8, and 9, go off of the fire starter. If it is a 0, narrow it down to 2 of them and flip a coin. If you don't have access to any of that, same rule applies, but with rolling dice. 1 and 2 is one, 3 and 4 is another, 5 and 6 is the other one. I can't check right now. Well, I would say the dice option is another one to fall back on. Streamers will quite often build off of that approach. Either a dice roll, which by the way you can do on Google. You can ask Google to roll a 6-sided dice for you. But you can also do the number thing in other Nuzlocke streams. It's a common practice that I've seen done before. You're catching all of them right now? I assume you must be going through the Legends Arceus Nuzlocke if they're making you catch all of the starters right now. I've just got to say, for physical brutes, those last 2 catches were actually pretty solid. A swole Magikarp and a well-balanced, beefy bull, which is probably less good than I initially meant for it to sound, because a beefy bull just sounds tasty. Alright, I do need to get a little bit of levels going on, but I think we can manage to do a little bit of fighting here without too much time wasted. If everybody can hit like level 23 or 24, I'd be in a pretty good spot. I really want my Tears and Rhea to be up another level, ideally. That's really about it. Okay, fight the bird. Fight the bird. Fighting the bird is a easy strategy because electricity, big advantage. Also, pork rinds. Yo, Wooly, did you lose that fight? What is wrong with you? What are you doing losing to a pig? Apologies there for a little bit. I had my controller right in the microphone and wasn't paying attention. Alright, Skidmark's getting pretty beefy. Let's put Dem out front to clear out this field. Maybe we'll get lucky and he'll get a good chunk of experience out of it. Are you really? I mean, I understand that they're flying type, but also, like, Dem, they're hoppits. I guess type matters a lot more than I initially thought. Alright, let me see here. I see some questions coming in. If I pick Cyndaquil, I can get Gyarados. Yes, and as I recall, if you watch through my my takeaway of a Nuzlocke run of that game, Gyarados, again named Richard, same thing as I think every Gyarados I've had at this point, was probably the legit MVP of my entire run. I'm fairly certain at the end of it, he even skated by the skin of the hairs of his butt cheeks and still pulled a win that probably shouldn't have happened, just out of pure raw power. So, highly recommend trying to get the Gyarados strat. If a Pokemon dies, how do I do it to release it, or what? You can have a section of essentially your box at the camp where they keep all the Pokemon. You can have a section that you kind of just make your graveyard. So when you come across a Pokemon that is qualified for your party... By the way, in the Nuzlocke of this game, you can and will be expected to catch many Pokemon that you won't be using in your party. So try and keep track of which Pokemon you're going to be having party accessible. Put them in one box section. And all of the other Pokemon, you let just populate other boxes. Release them as you need to get the rocks to power up your Pokemon. The rocks, the pebbles, whatever you use. There we go. Although I'm going to have to heal Dem up now. But yeah, when a Pokemon faints, you can put it in the box as essentially your graveyard. Or the alternative that I've done is, yes, you can release it. However, you can also run into issues. Yeah, damn, I don't know why you went to go fight another Tauros, but whatever. There we go. Go fight this other Piggly Wiggly up here. Crush the Dunsparce. Should still be doable. I'm just throwing a mad rampaging bull at every problem I come across. And it's working way better than it should. I don't recall, Dem, if you have always lived in Wales or if you moved there, but off of the assumption that you are at least part of the Euro region, you know, leave it to me to send an angry European into a bar fight and have them watch them walk out the winner. That's what's happening right now. What starter did I pick? On the Nuzlocke run, I think I did Rowlet. And there was a very unfortunate moment around that. Won't dig into that pit very far. But was a very unfortunate moment with that. When I went through the first time, I went with Cyndaquil, and rather enjoyed having the Cyndaquil option. The Ghost type coverage was pretty nice. Also, Fire type Pokemon was very useful in the early game. I mean, yeah, thank you. Go fight the lizard. My Pearl Nuzlocke, my Chimchar died before. Yeah, that'll happen. Losing your starters in a Nuzlocke, it's almost like something that probably people can or maybe should expect, but it's probably one of the worst ones to lose, because you do have a lot more of an attachment to your starter than you do in any other interpretation of your way making it through a Pokemon game. It is kind of funny when you stop and realize, though, that Nuzlocke runs are... What did I just run over? It wasn't even spawned in! Hold up! No! No, hold on. You're gonna... They have type advantage and everything, and they weren't even in the map yet. Dick move, game. You've been playing Nuzlocke, never lost a starter. Oh yeah, and if it's your favorite Pokemon, that's really rough. I was so desperate in my run-through of Legends Arceus. I was so desperate to put an Arcanine on my team that I was hindering the entirety of my party. Like, everybody was made in a worst possible scenario by me having an underleveled, non-evolved Growlithe on my party for the longest time. And then even when I made it into the Arcanine, I was constantly bringing it into a position that realistically I never should have. But I was so desperate to have my favorite Pokemon on my party as much as I possibly could. And I probably could have avoided a lot of heartache and pain. Yo, that's an intimidating sight. Let's put... No. No, in fact, I'm just going to turn and drive the other way. For fear of getting too much experience on Pokemon I don't want to have the experience, we're just going to move along. Chimchar was one of those evolutionary lines where, and it happens quite often, and this is just my opinion, my interpretation, the middle form of Chimchar was not particularly impressive, but Chimchar, like base Chimchar, was super adorable, and Infernape is really dope. Alright, as much as I want to have some more levels on, like, Rhea, Rhea is the only one that I really want to have more levels on. Let's see if I can do that. What is the... God, I don't think I could. Let me find a bird and fight it and see how we do. Speaking of, let me also check the move pools. Alright, Rock Throw. We do have a Rock-type move. And as I recall... No! That would be a bad one to fight. I can find a bunch of flying electric types down here on the beach. Okay, game, you're really gonna, like, focus hard on making me a liar now? Is that what we're doing? Ian said a thing, therefore now we need to make sure that that doesn't happen. I came down here and there was like a whole flock of them that flew off at one point. There we go. Alright, well, how about this? How about we fight you this way? I agree, I also am a big fan of Cyndaquil. Okay, wasn't expecting to be this close to level, so we're going to Terastallize just to make sure we get some decent damage out of our Rock Throw. Another thing that I didn't mention, Chimchar in the anime with Paul, one of the best like Pokemon character arcs in the anime. One of those true road to redemption stories, and to just make Paul like eat that revenge game so hard. Alright, could I please manage to fight another one game? I mean, finding a flock would be pretty good for me. Obviously, I don't want him to fight any of the water Pokemon. That's a huge weakness we'd be facing. Want the item, but I don't want to fight the Weasel. If I couldn't pick it up on a drive-by, I am not going to turn around for another shot at it. this work? Not very well. Okay, yeah, get back here, Rhea. Alright. Oh, here we go. This is what I'm looking for. Go in there, mess them up. As soon as you hit your level, we're going to go into the town. Come on, you've got to be close, right? I mean, you're close, but God, you're still not there. Not fighting the Tauros. Fight the pig? Please fight the pig. Please win against the pig. Thank you. That ought to do it, right? Yep, okay. Everybody is past the level threshold except for Tauros. However, Tauros is still the newest acquired Pokemon and is not something I particularly expect to be throwing at a gym battle. Out of my need to be somewhat well prepared, though. Yeah, we're gonna throw Skidmark up front and have our Salty Boy be the next one up. And the party dynamic beyond that doesn't so much matter. Alright, let's go for a gym challenge and see how I manage to screw it up. I will say that is a funny situation I tend to find myself in. I am very prone to making very bad decisions and somehow pulling myself out of them with relatively minimal loss. Oh, wait. Hold up. Is Nemona gonna try to fight us in this one? I think she does. I think this is gonna be our third or fourth gym? Third gym? I can't remember when she gives us our next major challenge for this. Yep. Here we go. Alright, I'm gonna need to grab a drink here. Give me a second, guys. So Ash, I see you referencing that you love Cyndaquil. My question to you is, how do you feel about the Hisuian Stoner Typhlosion? One of the few Pokemon to get high off of their own product. You know what would be a really interesting challenge as far as like the Nuzlocke approach goes? Doing a Nuzlocke of every primary generation game in their first iteration and not allowing yourself to use Pokemon you've already used. So Pokemon that make repeat appearances are going to be no longer available as you continue your way through. So like old faithful Pokemon like Gyarados, you've got to pick what generation you use Gyarados in, because it's one and done. Alright, is our terastallizing type ground? It is, so if I have to use that, I can. The low kick is going to be pointless because Rock Ruff is not very heavy. Oh, don't come at me with the double team strats. Hold up. You're legit doing this, Nimona. She ain't messing around. Holy cow. She said I'm coming in, and I am coming in hard. Oh man, I think I'm gonna have to do the low kick just for the slightly more accuracy. I'm glad I did. Nimona is cheap shotting me with the double team strat. Thank goodness that hit. Man, if you get like 3 or 4 of those off, double team starts paying for itself in gold. Alright, Paw Me is electric and fighting. I don't have anything that's a clear advantage fight to that, so I'll just jump in with Nibbler. Yeah, not the best position I'd like to see myself in, but it is where I am. And if I have to, I suppose I can do the, yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to Terastallize now. We should still be Terastallized when she sends in her final Pokemon. I'm sorry, did the sun just set as I did that? Is that what just happened in the background? And it's nighttime now! We spent so long terastallizing, you son of a bitch. Alright, well this is definitely a bad spot to be in. Gonna swap back to Skidmark just to be able to take the ground type attack. Because Nibbler is not going to be happy about that. Yo, we're part ground type and it was still super effective? Alright, this should be good enough though. Come on, take it out. You're kidding me. Shit. Okay. Alright, but she's just doubling down on the charge strategy. Which is gonna be useful to me. Slap it with that low kick. I was actually getting a little nervous there. Now we'll swap back into Nibbler. Oh, you keep your terastallization in between swaps? I didn't know that. That's useful knowledge. I never did that on my run-through on Scarlet, so knowing that you can do that from your after you terastallize means I don't have to lose the entire effort of making use of it. Okay, Nibbler just got nibbled. Not that that matters too much. We're just gonna blow you apart. And you're burned. Once you take some burn damage, that's it. Game over. Alright, a little bit of information gathered, a little bit of sweating during the middle part of that. But I think we're decently set up to go and challenge the gym. However, I am looking at the clock right now, and I did mention before that I really wanted to have this be a little bit longer stream, of which I think we did. I think we're well over 4 hours in, or near. No, we're near 3 hours. I started later than I thought. But I do have to get out, and I still have to take my dog for another walk today, so I've got to get that in, and it's already 4:30 where I am. So I am gonna save right here. We are at the level we need to be for the. All right, you went with Cyndaquil, and you named it. You named it Hammy. I like that. Anyways, so I'm gonna wrap up the stream here. When I come back for the next one, we are going to jump right into a gym challenge. And I will probably not... I'll have to not tackle the gym with a full set of Pokemon. Because I'm going to have a couple of Pokemon that are going to be over-leveled, and I can't use them in the gym challenge per what I'm doing on this run. But I want to have them set up in preparation for the tackling of the next Team Star area that will be right after as well. So I'm gonna wrap the stream up here. Thank you so much for stopping in, everybody. I hope to see you guys next time. Have a great week. If I am able to, and I say this every time I want to do other things, I really want to do some not Pokemon games and some other stuff that I enjoy playing. So we'll see if I can make those happen as way more casual streams. If they do happen, they're probably just going to be me chatting and, you know, whatever happens in the game happens. They're not going to be challenge runs or anything like that. But hope you guys have a good one. Dem, I really hope you get some good information on on your college courses. Hopefully your professors are going to be willing to work with you. And... hopefully you end up in a good spot for that one. But anyways, guys, thank you so much. See you next time.